Coming up on Nittany Game Week.
That foundation that we laid was very, very important.
The Nittany Lions showcase some fresh talent on the field and new faces on the sidelines for the annual Blue-White game.
For me, it's always been a tradition the past 13 years that I come with my dad.
Stadium renovations make the experience a little different this year. How the annual spring tradition gives fans a sneak peek at what they can expect this fall. And the men's volleyball team is putting it all together at the right time, why they're able to sweep their way to the conference championship. It's time for Nittany Game Week. It is the end of the line for some spring teams. For others, they're making a strong postseason push. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week.
Yeah, baseball, softball, track and field, all of those programs still have some regular season action before they focus on that next step. As for football, the blue-white game is a rite of spring, and that's where we start our opening drive.
Blue-white shines bright in Penn State's spring football finale. Team with a fresh look, along with, of course, some familiar faces, lay the foundation for the fall.
I thought we got a ton of work done this spring. Obviously, with Coach Knowles, that foundation that we laid was very, very important, and I feel good about that and where we're at.
A chance for players to get right.
I think the spring is a great time to kind of take things from the season that you want to work on and improve on those. And then, like you were just saying, kind of taking the things that we worked on in the spring, finding a couple of things and areas you might want to improve on, and taking that into the summer and kind of getting a plan with the coaches put together to be able to really improve and take those next steps.
While getting an early look at guys who may make a big impact later this year.
Owen Wafel had a great spring, I know that for sure. Gilliam, I'm excited for him. And you also got those older guys, Zane Duran, Denai, Zariah Fisher. Those older guys are holding that standard in the D-line, and they're making sure everyone's going to be ready when their time comes.
The key for spring football, fostering competition.
We're just trying to create as much competition at every position as we possibly can. That's the nature of this level of college football. We embrace it as coaches. The players embrace it as well. And I think we put ourselves in a position to have more competition in that room, which is what we need.
Embraced and understood by even the most important players.
Yeah, both very competitive. Like you said, they're not only pushing each other, but pushing me as well. But, I think we have a really special quarterback room in the sense that, we all get along. Danny and Trace do a great job of running that room. And, when it comes time to compete, we all want to win.
Early work now that will pay off later.
I like where we're at, but we got a ton of work to do between now and Nevada. And on top of that, we got to be intentional about our work. Every single one of them's got to be intentional about our work between now, training camp, and Nevada.
For the fans, it's the one and only chance to watch their favorite team at home in the spring. With all of the stadium renovations, the experience is a little different than past seasons. As Lauren Bradford shows us, the minor inconveniences did not prevent everyone from enjoying their blue-white traditions.
Fans wasting no time filing into Beaver Stadium ahead of the spring showing.
Anytime we get a chance to come out here, it's a great opportunity just to experience everything, the game, the people, the food, the camaraderie.
Football, once again, bringing families together.
But this is like a family tradition. He's been coming since he was 2 months old. My niece was 1.5 years when she started coming, so it's a big family tradition.
For me, it's always been a tradition the past 13 years that I come with my dad.
Making memories with loved ones while sharing the love with the team. And in particular, the running back room, who has run away with the spring superlative of most popular with the fans.
Well, my favorite player is probably Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, both running backs.
Katron Allen and also Singleton.
Singleton.
Probably Katron Allen. Yeah, Katron Allen or Nick Singleton.
Say we like Singleton, right? Yeah.
The blue-white game providing the perfect opportunity for fans to watch their old favorites back in action and find new faces to look forward to in the fall.
I'm excited to see our new freshmen, see how good they are.
I like watching the kids that don't get a chance to play a lot. This is their chance to shine and make a name for themselves.
Hopefully the fans soaked everything in because it'll have to hold them over until Penn State opens their season against Nevada on August 30th.
Well, thanks, Lauren. While the fans watch the fresh faces and new talent on the field in Happy Valley, a handful of former players hear their name called during the NFL draft in Green Bay, including 2 in the first round. Now, the number would have been higher, but much of the team's NFL caliber talent chose to return to PSU. And he was hoping to be the #1 overall pick. The first Nittany line off the board goes to the New York Giants as they take standout edge rusher Abdul Carter with the 3rd choice. Next off the board, just a few picks later, is tight end Tyler Warren, taken by the Indianapolis Colts with the 14th overall pick. On day 2 of the draft, safety Kevin Winston Jr., who missed most of last season with an injury, gets the call. He heads down to Nashville with the Tennessee Titans. And on the final day of the NFL draft, a pair from the blue and white are grabbed in the 6th round. The Houston Texans select safety Jalen Reed, and the Minnesota Vikings welcome linebacker Kobe King to Skull Nation. So here's the final list. 5 Penn Staters with their name called in Green Bay. Penn State now has had at least 5 selections in each of the last 8 NFL drafts, joining only Alabama and Georgia as programs to have that level of representation. A total of 50 players during the span, the most during an 8-year time frame for Penn State.
And the men's lacrosse team is making a strong push at the end of their season. Coach Jeff Tambroni and the guys start off blue-white Saturday with a home game against Johns Hopkins in the quarterfinals. And they put on quite a show for a big crowd before they head over to watch some football. So just down the road from Beaver Stadium at Panzer Stadium, the Nittany Lions play host to the Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins. A packed house for this one, a sea of blue-white that fueled an early start. Just 30 seconds in, a shot is ripped from the left side by midfielder Ethan Long to open up the scoring 1-0 for PSU. The Nittany Lions keep the good times rolling. A quick feed upfield by goalie Jack Frasian. Liam Matthews has it, finds a breaking Matt Trainer, and check out the finish. Behind the back to find the back of the net. My oh my, what a goal to give Penn State a 2-0 lead. They would hold the lead most of the way and end up holding off a Johns Hopkins resurgence towards the tail end to win 13-12 and book their ticket to the Big Ten semifinals. So Ann Arbor we come. Penn State takes on the Terps. Maryland's up 2-0 in the first. The Big Ten freshman of the year, Hunter Aquino, drives from the left, finds Jack Amon inside, who pops in Penn State's first goal of the game. Deficit cut in half, 2-1. Jump ahead to the 3rd quarter. PSU trails by 1, 6-5. Loose ball scooped up by Ryan DeRocco, circles behind the net, finds Matt Trainer driving to the net, and scores a Trainer special. You saw it in the game before. He does it again behind the back to tie the game up at 6. Incredible goal, but it would not be enough in the end. The Nittany Lions fall short and fall to the Terps in the Big Ten semis, 10-8. Time for a short break. When we come back, our roadmap to victory revisits a historic hockey season, how the road led to the first Frozen Four in school history. More Nittany Game Week after this.
Embark on a journey of luxury.
A new level of sophistication.
Where?
In the Pocono Mountains.
The Lodge at Woodlock. Elegance defined.
The Swiftwater, a new and exciting addition to the luxury collection.
The picturesque French Manor. The iconic Mount Airy Casino Resort.
The Grand Lady of the Pocono Mountains, Skytop Lodge.
The Pocono Mountains Luxury Resorts Collection at PoconoMountains.com.
I've always wanted a big family, but one moment can change your whole entire life.
I went to the doctor and was told I had stage 3 cancer and I would most likely never carry another baby. Right before I was about to start chemotherapy, I was told about a new clinical trial funded by Stand Up to Cancer that used immunotherapy. And after my 9th treatment,
my tumor had completely disappeared.
Because of this trial, I was able to welcome a beautiful baby girl and watch my family grow. Help push cancer research further at standuptocancer.org/cures.
Roadmap to Victory is sponsored by the R&R family of companies.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. Time for our roadmap to victory. And for the men's hockey team, their victories took them on a wild ride to the Frozen Four.
Yeah, a wild ride indeed. From last place in the Big Ten during the season to the only Big Ten team in the national semifinals. Coach Godowski held an end of the season gathering to talk about a year on the ice Penn State players and fans will never forget.
Serrano moves in, swung it back to Marsico, fires, scores! It's over! Penn State to the Frozen Four for the first time ever!
It is arguably the most important goal in Penn State hockey history. An overtime winner that propels the Nittany Lions to their first Frozen Four. Despite a national semifinal setback to Boston University, Coach Godowski sees all kinds of value from the trip to St. Louis.
Other than losing, the entire experience was really cool, and there's a lot of great support from Penn Staters there in St. Louis, which was awesome, and there's a lot of really, really positive aspects of it. Probably the best part is that we get to learn from it and apply it to the next time we get to be there.
The senior class won't get another opportunity. Their eligibility is up, and they leave Hockey Valley knowing how to deal with adversity and flourish.
They did come from the lowest lows, obviously coming out of COVID, but also we had a pretty low this year, and so maybe I don't know, learning the lessons that they learned, how they had to dig themselves out of COVID, applied to how they dug themselves out of this season. I'm not sure. I'm going to ask that. It's funny, you don't really achieve anything without being positive and working together, and that's how they did it.
Coach alluded to the lows of this season. They started unranked and then failed to win any of their first 9 Big Ten games. The 9th coming in a shootout loss to Notre Dame at Wrigley Field in Chicago. They ended the year with 22 wins to earn a top 5 ranking.
We haven't changed our stripes. Like we do play a certain way that we're proud of, that's fun, that's great for development, and it's exciting, and that's the way we think hockey should be played. And so we're never going to change that. Did I ever think that we would achieve? I mean, you always come in optimistic, I guess. We always thought we were pretty good, and we still thought that through the lows, although the results just weren't coming. Potential and reality doesn't always mix.
The run to the Frozen Four gives Penn State a new standing in the college hockey world. A high-profile position creates more interest and more buzz about their culture and future success.
Because how it came out, because it was such an amazing turnaround, and something that was really no one in December absolutely. The only thing everybody would tell you is that there's last place. They're last place, that's the way it is. Terrible year, last place, they're rebuilding. No one gave us a shot. So the fact that we ended up going to the Frozen Four from that made people curious about how it was done. And it was not done through changing systems or concepts or strategy, or we weren't able to bring in any new players. It was done by them, the team, refocusing and focusing on values, but refocusing what they did in their commitment to the team and to each other. And that's how it was done, which is basically culture, right? So yeah, there's a lot more people very curious about that. So it's good. I like that. I think it's a big part of Penn State University, big part of our student body, and certainly a big part of our team.
If you think things couldn't get any better for Coach and the team, his son, Mac, has transferred from Army to wear the blue and white.
Yeah, very, very cool. It's a big deal for the family. Obviously, on the ice, Mac was a Hobie Baker Award finalist for the Cadets. He brings a lot of talent to a team that will now be going for a trip back to the Frozen Four. Still to come, they were battle-tested on the road all season long, and it pays off in their conference tournament. Our Impact interview is with the men's volleyball team that sweeps their way to the title. More Nittany Game Week is on the way.
These are more than just trucks. Every shipment moved by the R&R family of companies contributes to the Excel Foundation for Autism Research and Inclusion, funding safe spaces like the Sensory Room at Penn State's Beaver Stadium, and a special event sensory trailer, and giving thousands that were unheard a voice.
Now is the time to amplify non-speaking voices and drive meaningful change.
These trucks are powered by purpose.
We hope you enjoy these experiences as much as we do. Pocono Mountains Luxury Resorts. Luxury Unlimited. Find it at PoconoMountains.com.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
We're back on Nittany Game Week. It wasn't easy to catch a home match for the men's volleyball team this season, That's because they didn't have many of them. The guys went on the road early and often to test themselves against the best competition in the country. And while the results weren't always encouraging, the experience was invaluable. Our Impact interview catches up with a team who hit the road to Princeton for the conference tournament and swept their way to the championship. The results getting through and sweeping through the EIVA tournament, did it surprise you at all? How proud are you of the guys, and just how excited are? How much fun was that experience?
When you look back at our regular season records against Harvard, New Jersey Tech, and Princeton, our record in sets was 10-10. We won 10, we lost 10. If you would have told me before we played them we were going to go 9-0 through the EIVA tournament, I'd wonder what you were drinking before we talked. But this group just made it their goal to go out, have fun, play the game the way that they know how to play, and it worked. And I wish I had a better answer for you on how you turn around a team, but this is more on them and how much they really believed in each other, and how much importance they put on the team culture, and how you talked about it and what you did with it. And you saw what it did for men's ice hockey here. You saw what it did for women's volleyball. I think we have some special athletes here that are Nittany Lions. I don't care what sport they play. They're just a special group of kids.
Do you map out the schedule so that you get those road trips? You're battle testing this team for later on. You're not sure what the results are going to be. Obviously, they weren't the desired results. But talk to me about this season, how it's played out, and the growth of your team and what they've learned along the way.
I just think we had a group of relatively inexperienced starters, and I threw them to the wolves, and it was probably not the best decision that I made in putting that schedule together. But there are things that I want them to compete in. And as the year wore on, the one thing that was stuck out was we didn't worry about results. We just worried about getting in here, staying together as a team, looking forward to the next time we had to play, learning our lessons from that, and just kept grinding. And there was never any talk about what the schedule was, what the results were. All there was talk about was, let's stay together as a team, believe in your strengths, know the good things that are happening, we're getting better. We just got to collectively extend the good to great levels of play that we had, and things would take care of themselves. And if we're good enough, we'll put ourselves in a position where we can take advantage of that.
Do you feel you guys are in a dangerous position for other opponents now? I mean, you guys are confident, you're playing your best, or do you just feel like you're an unknown out there, kind of an unknown commodity? You've seen a lot of the top teams out there, so there's not a ton of surprises, I guess, talent and that type of point. But you're trying to be playing your best when you need it.
I think we're as physical as any team. Are we capable of self-destructing? Yes. Are we capable of putting together some great higher levels of play? Certainly. I'm willing to take on any comers right now, so I feel pretty good about where we're at. And, whatever our opponents are going to think about it, but can't control that. I just know what I believe in these guys, and the unfortunate part is I think I only have about 2.5 weeks left with them. This is a group that really has worked its way into my heart, and really appreciate everything that they've done for us.
Overall record's probably not what you guys are used to, but you're where you want it to be. So how has that journey and how's that path been for this year's team?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the record, you look at our first 7 weekends, like we're on the road every weekend. And this group's done a great job of just battling through all the adversity that comes with travel, whether it's flights getting delayed or buses, stuck in traffic, breaking down, stuff like that. Like, I think that's what I'm most proud of this group, is outside of like the record. Obviously, we had a very tough out-of-conference schedule. We're playing a lot of top 10, top 5 teams. And that stuff always takes care of itself, right? We kept saying in the beginning of the year, like, these matches will prepare us for EIVA play, EIVA tournament, only if we let it, right? The lessons are there, but we just have to use it. And I think we did a great job of doing that.
Is that part of the senior leadership or just the leadership in general, keeping everybody focused in that way? Because you can get frustrated over a long season if you take some L's early in the year and that type of deal. So how did that work within the room and within the players to keep each other up and motivated?
Big shout out to Pav and the coaching staff. Just kind of reminding us, like, look, we have a bigger goal in mind. There's something else that we're playing for. And then just coming into the gym every day, like just trying to get better. You look at like wrestling, 12 national championships in the last 14 years here, but if you listen to their interviews, they're not worried about like singular outcomes, right? They're just worried about the process. So we kind of took that to heart and just became real process oriented, working towards the goal of EIVA championships, and we were able to get it done.
What makes you dangerous for someone that hasn't been following this team? What do you guys do well? Is it the swinging defense? What kind of attributes and characteristics has this team taken and won with?
I think just the experience, right? Like you look at our first 2 weekends of the season, we had 4 guys go in who it was their first time playing collegiate volleyball, right? They're getting their first minutes, their first points. So the experience that this group has gotten, even through the tough times, the dark days, right? Like all those are learning moments. And I think this group's done a really good job of using those moments to make us better. Like I said before, like we're 1 through 20, everybody's bought in still. So it's gonna be tough, but I'm excited.
We have much more at nittany-game-week.com. We need to step aside from the TV show for a quick break. Make sure you go to nittany-game-week.com for the entire conversation along with our other web exclusive content like our depth chart and Nittany Game Week podcasts. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, national volleyball champion Izzy Stark is leading the way off the court where she's teaching life-saving skills to youth players. We're heading into the final minutes on Nittany Game Week.
The headlines are heart-wrenching. Crews recover body of missing swimmer. Drowning victim did not wear a life jacket. You don't think it can happen to you. The river looks calm, but the current is a killer if you don't wear a life jacket. Swimming, floating, fishing, boating, wear it. The life you save could be yours. Don't fall victim to drowning. Wear a life jacket.
These are more than just trucks. Every shipment moved by the R&R family of companies contributes to the Excel Foundation for Autism Research and Inclusion, funding safe spaces like the Sensory Room at Penn State's Beaver Stadium, and a special event sensory trailer, and giving thousands that were unheard a voice.
Now is the time to amplify non-speaking voices and drive meaningful change.
These trucks are powered by purpose. The Nittany Game Week Depth Chart is brought to you by Burke and Bradley Orthopedics. Located in Pittsburgh, Burke and Bradley Orthopedics is a comprehensive sports medicine practice, providing patients with the most current and innovative approaches in diagnosis and treatment.
I really encourage people to learn CPR and use how to use a AED because I think it's just a really good tool to have in life. You never need to know when you're going to need to save someone's life, especially on the court.
Yeah, the Peyton Walker Foundation, along with West Shore Homes, teamed up with Penn State volleyball national champ Izzy Stark for a CPR and AED training event last month. Stark, along with the foundation, got the chance to meet with young volleyball players and teach them the valuable skills. Of course, there was plenty of time afterwards for the young athletes to interact as well. Overall, a very cool day that makes a big impact. And also making a big impact, it's time to dish out some Dean's List honorees, one of our most highly coveted awards on this show, giving standout Penn State athletes from the past week a shout out. We start off with the track and field team's women's distance medley relays team, who at the Penn Relays last weekend sets a new school record. A joint effort by Zoe Goldstein, Maddie Alome, Kylie Kane, and Alliston Johnson set a program record with a time of 10:55:31. Over to another team breaking school records. The Penn State softball team has surpassed the single season runs record of 289 during their series against Maryland, amid one of the most prolific offenses in program history. They beat the record set by the team in 2016. And lastly, love to see athletes making an impact off the field. Women's golf senior Jamie Morris has been honored as one of the 20 student athletes for the inaugural National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics Good Works Spring Team for her community service. Inspired by her mother's lymphoma diagnosis in 2020, she created the Hit for Hope fundraiser and has since raised more than $200,000. Congrats to this week's nominees.
Yeah, another strong list. More good things ahead in the spring postseason. We're keeping our eyes on some title contenders. And don't forget, we bring all Nittany lines together with our depth chart at nittany-game-week.com, connecting businesses that support the show with our viewers. The goal, build a team that keeps our hometowns strong. We'll be covering all Penn State athletics all the way through late May with some exciting playoff action on the horizon. 3 more shows to go. Make sure to check out nittany-game-week.com for our web exclusive content. So make sure you check out past episodes on our website and submit some pride picks for Ryan and the entire Nittany Game Week crew. I'm Todd. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.